Okay, we're going to get started. Welcome, everyone. All this you can read later. To ERA Demo Day number 25. Yes, this is our 25th Demo Day. It's actually great. There are some people here who've been to every single one of them. Don't worry, we're not going to make you all stand up. But thank you, and thank you to all the mentors and founders who've made this possible for the last 25 cohorts. So thank you again. Yes, that's right, 25. So listen, we're going to keep this short. You're not here to see us. You're here to see these amazing companies we've been working with for the last 4 months. It really is an incredible group, and I think that each and every investor here is going to be able to find at least one, hopefully 3 or 4 of the companies that you're going to be really excited to be investing in. So, on behalf of myself, Murat, Brian, Jeremy, Perry, Karen, Paula, Mike, Catherine, Carly, Sho, Michelle, Max, and Gonzalo. Yes, we're growing. The entire ERA team. We want to say thank you, welcome, and we're excited you're here. So, we don't usually spend much time talking about the past, but because it is 25, we decided we'd take a quick look back, or at least a reminder, as much for ourselves as anyone else, of what it was like 2011. ERA 1, we invested in 10 companies, and we gave them all $25,000. It was a lot of money back then. Oh, that's right. So I was going to say, well, you'll get your chance in a second, trust me. We have several of the founders here today. Today, ERA 25, 14 companies, and they all get $150,000. No, you're not getting a refund, guys. But it's come a long way. But the real question is, what's happened to those companies? And sometimes we get asked by folks who come to Demo Day, what happened to ERA 1? Well, it turned out an awful lot. Of those companies, 5 of those first 10 companies have since been acquired. Founders here, ERA 1, put your hands up. We've got a few of them here. Congratulations. And one of the companies is still operating, doing more than $100 million of revenue a year, Bespoke Post. So 6 out of 10, not so bad for ERA 1. But what does it mean for you as investors? And this is the part we want to try to put in everyone's head this morning. If you had invested in every one of those companies at Demo Day, you would have made 40 times your money and counting. 40 times. Now just imagine what will happen to you when you invest in all 14 of the companies today. So, it's a great group of companies. Again, you're going to meet them. We're going to get started in a second. We're very proud that they joined more than 300 alumni companies who've been here before them. It really is a community. It really is a group of companies that over the last decade we see as serving, disrupting, and changing virtually every industry today. With that in mind, though, we're going to give you a couple shout-outs on particular companies, and I'll turn it over to Murat, who loves to talk about our unicorns.
Thank you, John. So this is the infomercial part. I'll do it really quick. But like, what's happened in the past 12 and a half years, 25 cohorts? We have a bunch of unicorns, and some of our founders here are from the unicorns. We have many companies in the Inc. 5000. There are many different pages like this coming up. So Forbes Best Employers, 30 Mers and Naya have been selected. Entrepreneur 100 Women of Influence, Tanya Vancourt, gold setter, has been selected as a Woman of Influence. And this year, Female Founders 200 Inc., Lee Rubin, Confetti, and Jamie Norwood and Cynthia Plach from Styx have been selected. So we are super, super lucky to be working with these like amazing founders, obviously, as you know. Also, Deloitte Technology Fast 500 funded Flip and Glia. And total, our companies have raised more than $2 billion, and some are actually raising as we speak this morning. There you go, Neil. Just do it, close it. And we have, market cap is more than $10 billion. And maybe like you forgot, but John mentioned, if you invested in those companies in ERA 1, you would have made 40 times your money, just saying. Obviously, you know, some legal disclaimer in there somewhere. But I want to talk about remarkable ventures. This is ERA's follow-on funds and direct investment VC funds. We've been very lucky to invest in really remarkable early-stage companies in New York City and around the world. But as most of you know, we have now a climate fund that we are investing actively with into climate companies. So these are seed and A stage companies. We are leading the rounds. We are also participating in other rounds. But one thing is, we made our first climate investment into an energy company in the US, in California, called Box Power. So we are super excited to be part of the solution for having this kind of weather on October 5th in New York City. Like, I've been in New York City 25 years. I've never seen this before. So, you know, hopefully we'll make it. But on better news, now I'm going to bring up our managing director of ERA, Brian Hecht, to tell you more about what's coming up. Thank you, Brian.
All right. Welcome, everybody. And we have so many, the attendance is great. We have so many people off on the side. I would like to invite you, nay, insist that you come and get a better view. There's plenty of seats over here on this side. This is the break when you can do it without disturbing the presentations. Look at these wonderful guests. Thank you. And co-founders, you're welcome to move in too. There's some spots over there behind thing where we want to see your beautiful faces as well. Okay, let's get started with this portion of the program. So, as we move into the accelerator in our amazing companies, I want to recognize a few people. These are our mentors. There's more than 500 of them. These are people who are from the top of industries, who give their time and come in and meet with the founders. We're so grateful. This is a key part of the backbone of the ERA community, and we're really grateful to them for coming in. Of those, there are some who are lead mentors, and I was a lead mentor for many years. These are people who, it's pretty incredible. They come in every single week. It's almost like they're an extension of a team. They get assigned to one company, and they're there to keep them accountable, to keep them going, to make sure this presentation today is fantastic. So those are the lead mentors. Let's give them a hand, because they do so much. Next, we have our alumni mentors, another backbone of the community. You know, when you leave ERA, walk off this stage like so many have, you're not gone. We don't let you go. We have a rope around you, and people just come back. The office is always open. They're always meeting with our companies. These are some alumni who are specifically assigned to companies for particular reasons, their area of expertise. So those are our alumni mentors, 2 screens of them. And then our venture partners. These have been people who have been with us for so long, and they're there to provide really sage guidance from years and years of experience, and they're very available and helping our companies, and some of them are lead mentors as well. And we have our Demo Day pitch coaches. You are going to see some amazing, energetic, and persuasive presentations here today. These are people who are accomplished in coaching the best presentations on the live stage and on TV. So when you're wowed by these presentations, a lot of credit goes to our pitch coaches. And we have some incredible sponsors. PacWest is the sponsor for today. John, are you here? If you could stand up. John Bryson. Oh, there he is. All right. They've been supportive, not just on Demo Day. Our companies have met them. They provide so much value, and they're really a part of the startup community here in New York, and we're grateful, John, for all your support. IAC, this wonderful venue. I mean, can you believe that our little accelerator gets to be in this enormous space? The demand speaks for itself. So thank you, IAC, for having us here. And Goodwin. Jeff, are you here? Jeff Klein? All right. Oh, he's very modest. He's back there. This is our law firm. They make sure that our, some of our companies come and they're not even incorporated. That's how early we identify talent. So we make sure that everything is buttoned up and help us when they're incorporating and help them when they're closing their first round and beyond. We have other sponsors. Every one of these sponsors, these are not just writing checks. These are folks who are involved in the cohort. I'd like to thank Brex, ThoroughPass, Google for Startups, AWS, Patentory, Stripe, and Witham. Bernie, are you here? All right, Bernie's been with us since the very beginning of ERA. Let's give a hand to our sponsors. And here is what you have been waiting for. These are the companies that we've been working with for the last 4 months. Oh God, 14 months, God help me. The last 4 months. It's incredible how far they've come. You're going to enjoy the show, but most of all, you're going to be impressed by the areas that they're innovating in, by how much they've achieved. And I don't want to say too much because here they come. First up is Baptiste, the founder and CEO of DiploAI.
Good morning. My name is Baptiste Bouvier, founder and CEO of DiploAI. DiploAI is a generative AI platform that helps manufacturers launch products faster. We take any product spec and tell engineers exactly what regulations they have to follow. Meet the side view mirror. Now, many of you may be thinking it's just a piece of metal and glass, but recently, it's found itself with flashy cameras, sensors, and small computers. That means for the first time, it has to comply with data regulations and cybersecurity regulations and privacy regulations and AI regulations, and that's just the EU. Countries like India, China, and Brazil no longer follow EU regulations, so effectively tripling the amount of regions they have to track. And at every single automotive company, there are thousands of people right now using Control F keyword search to find the parts that are relevant for the side view mirror and thousands of other components. DiploAI is the solution to this problem. And I'm pleased to announce that just 4 weeks after we launched the product, we have just signed a paid pilot with a top 5 automotive company. This company, and I imagine many of you probably drive one of their cars, are so eager to start because the explosion of new regulation leads to more and more mistakes. Now, what happens if you don't catch a mistake and you launch a car? Well, you face hundreds of millions of dollars in fines. But even if you do catch the mistake in the final checks before launch, a delay of 6 months costs 33% in expected profit. So either way, it's a complete disaster. DiploAI is the solution to this. That's where we come in. Engineers at manufacturing companies use Diplo to navigate millions of regulatory documents and identify which ones are relevant to their products. And the pipeline is growing. Simultaneously, we're negotiating contracts with 3 other top 10 automotive companies and have another 11 on our wait list. And of course, OEMs are just one piece. Each large OEM that you've probably heard of has thousands of suppliers who sell parts like the side view mirror and face this exact same issue. So what makes 15 of these companies engage with a startup so quickly? We turn what it now takes armies of regulatory affairs specialists and lawyers 3 months to do into a 4-minute process. And those 3 months are more important than ever, with upstarts like Tesla entering the market at breakneck speeds. And as one SVP of regulatory compliance told us, postponing a car launch by 6 months is a 9-figure opportunity cost. We are a team of MIT engineers who have spent the last 9 months making 6 proprietary algorithms to make this regulatory analysis possible. Our technology uses machine learning and large language models, the focus of my research at MIT, and I've also had AI roles at companies like Facebook and more recently at McKinsey, where I was advising manufacturers on government regulation. Now, the technology might seem super complex, but the platform is easy to use. The user uploads a product spec, chooses a country, and then we generate a shareable report that tells engineers exactly what regulations they have to follow. And because, by the way, these regulations change all the time, Diplo updates the recommendations every 12 hours, and that's why we're an essential subscription product that's continuously scanning the regulatory environment. Now, of course, manufacturing spends $17 billion on manual regulatory analysis, 17 billion, but they're not the only industry grappling with impossibly complex regulations. Healthcare and financial services will be our next targets. So if you're curious how we signed one of the top 5 automotive companies, here's our QR code. We'd love to connect. Join us as we transform the way huge industries interact with an impossibly complex regulatory environment. My name is Baptiste Bouvier, and we are DiploAI.
Wow. I would say we put the best one first, but they're all amazing. But that really was a tremendous start. Baptiste, thank you so much. I think we're going to take another quick moment and allow folks who are not yet seated to come take a walk. We've got a few more seats on the right, my right here. So if anybody would like to come down and come take a seat, if you could do that now, please. Thank you. Awesome. So as Brian mentioned and John and Murat mentioned prior, we are so excited to be back here at IAC and to be here with all of you. So thank you so much for coming. Next up, I'm excited to introduce you to our next company. Please welcome to the stage the co-founder of Pathways, Alex Cooper.
Hey, I'm Alex, the co-founder of Pathways, and we're building the data platform needed for sustainable manufacturing. Now, I may not be a material girl like Madonna, but we are definitely living in a material world. And building that material world takes a lot of carbon. In fact, nearly 20% of global CO2 emissions comes from the manufacturing of the building materials needed in the built environment. That's because across new builds, retrofits, and infrastructure, we are globally building the equivalent of a new New York City every single month. Now, we don't need to stop building, but we do need to be smarter about the building materials that we're using. And so that's our mission at Pathways, creating the data needed for sustainable construction. In recent years, ambitious manufacturers have begun publishing environmental product declarations, or EPDs. They're like the environmental nutrition facts of building materials, but instead of calories and carbs, they measure chemicals and carbon. Unfortunately, publishing EPDs is just too time-consuming and expensive for most manufacturers. Now, you may not be familiar with these EPDs, but regulators and procurement departments sure are. Procurement policies and building codes are being radically reshaped, requiring general contractors to only use materials from manufacturers that have verified EPDs. And that can create real problems for manufacturers that don't have them. Manufacturers like the Holden Company. The Holden Company is a mass timber manufacturer, a sustainable steel alternative. And last year, they were in negotiations with their largest potential client until they asked them for their EPDs. Initially, Holden assumed it should be no problem. They could just create one. But sustainability consultants told them it would take upwards of 12 months and nearly $30,000 to publish a single EPD. The client couldn't wait that long. So Holden lost out on the business and on hundreds of thousands of dollars of potential revenue. So that's the problem that we're solving here at Pathways, and we're experiencing huge demand. We just went to market with our first product in August, and as of a couple of weeks ago, have signed our first customer, a multi-billion-dollar wood products company that produces 1 million utility poles every single year. Our product is a subscription platform and was for the first of their 43 facilities across North America. Now, you may not be familiar with our customers, but there are over 500,000 manufacturing facilities across North America, and they will all need to publish EPDs. So here's how the technology works. We integrate across manufacturers' operations using large language models to parse unstructured data and extract the relevant inputs. We then process those inputs through a customized life cycle analysis model. Manufacturers can use our platform to understand the size and scope of their environmental impact and can even double-click in, seeing precisely where the emissions hotspots are and what strategies they need to reduce that environmental footprint. My co-founder knows this problem intimately. She spent her entire career working at the intersection of sustainability in the built environment, developing Tata Steel's decarbonization strategy. And I'm a technologist, having built data tools at Uber and Clutter, a fifth wall-backed company. This is a hard problem. Technologies today mostly attack it top-down, just trying to aggregate the existing information out there. But we're approaching it head-on, actually creating the underlying data needed to decarbonize construction. So if you want to be part of the platform to decarbonize the construction industry, come chat. I'm Alex. We're Pathways. Join us in building a lower carbon material world. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Alex. All right, moving right on with the show. Next up, I'm very pleased to welcome to the stage Nara. He is the founder and CEO of Zendata.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nara. I'm the founder and CEO of Zendata. Identifying and managing data risk is a huge and complex problem, but we've solved it. And that's why we have $650,000 in ARR. Let me show you how we got there. When you interact with your favorite websites and apps, we think it's a simple exchange of information between us and the websites and apps we're interacting with. But the reality is way more complex. These websites have hundreds of data agreements with third parties who they share our information with, often without our knowledge. An average company captures 20,000 pieces of information about a visitor, and they have 30 third-party integrations. And companies have financial, regulatory, and customer obligations to manage this data well. The stakes when you get it wrong, significant, $4.5 million per breach. Yet companies, even the largest ones, get affected by this all the time. How do I know this? I spent 13 years at PayPal, where I built and managed a team and spent millions of dollars making sure our data collection, sharing, and access are managed well. Now meet David. He's a CISO at a fintech company and a Zendata customer. His team is small, but he's responsible for making sure the data collection at his company is compliant with their own privacy policies, regulatory obligations, partner and industry standards. He needs to secure every interface his customer data comes in contact with, and the current way of doing things with annual audits, it doesn't work. It looks backwards, and by the time a risk is identified, it's already too late. Companies big and small, including David's, struggle with the risks associated with third-party technologies, and that's why we built Zendata. Think of us as your privacy co-pilot, and let me tell you how it works. We capture context of data collection from privacy policy to regulatory obligations, and we have a set of software monitoring tools that continuously monitor all interfaces to make sure that the data collection is compliant and that there's no data leakage. When we identify a risk, we fix what's possible to fix automatically and guide the customer through the rest of the fixes. And we have amazing traction. We have 3x since last year, and we're on target to reach $1 million in ARR by early 2024. How will we get there? We already have 100 B2C companies, brands like Upwork, ThreadUp, Invoice2go as our customers, but this is just the beginning. We're targeting fintech, e-commerce, and health tech verticals, where companies spend over $1 billion a year on security compliance annually. We sell to CISOs and CIOs, and we close most of our deals in under 30 days. Customers love us. The simplicity of use, the ease of implementation, and the unmatched features, proven by less than 5% annual churn, an industry low. And we're the right team to build this company. I mentioned my experience at PayPal. My co-founder, Pedro, has years of experience building and scaling interactive data products at multiple Fortune 100 companies. And since the beginning of the program at ERA, we actually raised $1 million in investment. And with your help, we will win big in the $30 billion security compliance market. Once again, my name is Nara. This is Zendata. Thank you for listening.
All right, that was Nara from Zendata. Okay, next up, you're going to have no trouble focusing on our next presenter. You'll get the joke when she comes up. Please welcome Saran, the CEO and co-founder of Moonlight.
Hi, my name is Saran, co-founder and CEO of Moonlight, the app that unlocks super you. So you know that feeling when you're completely in the zone, when you're thinking lightning fast, you're being creative, and you turn into that super version of yourself? What if you could unlock super you whenever you wanted? That's called flow state. And at Moonlight, we hack your brain to unlock flow state on demand. So picture this. It's currently 8 p.m. and you're coming off 10 hours of back-to-back meetings, and now you're at your desk and it's time to do your actual work. You're distracted, you got a million things to do, and before you know it, it's 3 a.m. You've half-assed the work, you're a zombie the next morning, and you lose that deal. Now, I used to be a private equity investor, and unfortunately, I've experienced this a lot. Workplace distractions is actually pretty common. It costs the average worker 2.5 hours per day, and HR departments cite it as the third biggest problem facing their workforce. And that's why we built Moonlight. Moonlight brings you focus and flow state on demand. We measure your focus levels in real time and then deliver science-backed interventions to snap you into focus. Now, hundreds of research studies validate this, and we're the first to bundle it into one app. Our secret sauce is that we can measure focus in a continuous and non-invasive fashion. We do this with a proprietary algorithm that aggregates data from your camera and your wearables and then customizes the right intervention at the right time. Our superpower? We can get you focused within minutes. So let's see how this all works. You turn on Moonlight when you start to work. It sits on your laptop, and when we notice your focus drifting, let's say your blink rate increases, maybe you're looking down at your phone, Moonlight springs into action to catch you before you fall. We introduce things like tactical breath coaching, functional audio, and blue light modulation. And we can anticipate what will work best for you at this time of night when you have this many hours left of work and when your focus is at this level. We target the 30 million professionals doing self-directed work. So think consultants, lawyers, engineers grinding out code. And these customers, they already spend twice the time and 10 times the money on their wellness and fitness than the average American. And this is not a hypothetical. We're already being used by employees at McKinsey, at Evercore, at TPG, and we're signing our first paid contract with Alphabet spinoff Sandbox. We'll use a freemium model with a subscription to unlock premium features. Now, this has obvious appeal to employers with a vested interest in their worker productivity. And the best news is, it works. Our early users have reported a 46% increase in focus after using Moonlight. We launched our app just 2 weeks ago, and we've already acquired hundreds of users with no paid marketing. And 2/3 of our user base come back at least 3 times a week. As one of our users puts it, Moonlight is like nothing I've ever used to focus. Now, there are a ton of productivity point solutions out there, but they miss the fact that you need different things to focus at different times. Moonlight is the integrated approach that delivers the right intervention at the right time. So why us? Well, my co-founder and I are both musicians, and we believe that the same flow state that we unlock when making music, that lightning can be bottled up to be used for our jobs. My co-founder, Quincy, is an ML engineer from Stanford, and he developed our focus algorithm. And me, I'm squarely the target customer, an ex-investor with an MBA from Stanford. Today, we are more distracted than ever, and there's demand for a solution. There's a reason why biohacking podcasts like Huberman Lab is the third biggest podcast in the country today after just 2 years. If our story hit a little too close to home for you, here's a QR code to try our product. If you'd like to join us in addressing the focus crisis, come talk to us. I'm Saran, and this is Moonlight.
Amazing. I just keep thinking about Super You. I want that. Saran, thank you so much. That was Moonlight. Next up, I'm pleased to introduce to you the co-founder and CEO of Suntra Modern Recovery, Dr. J.L. Neptune.
All right, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Jean-Luc Neptune, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Suntra Modern Recovery. We're the care management platform that enables the early identification and treatment of addiction at scale. Today, I'd like to share the story of a real family that we'll call the Smiths, Katie and Connor. On the outside, they look like your typical happy family, but what we don't see is Connor's addiction to alcohol. In the last 2 years, Connor's been to the ER 4 times, and he's been to inpatient detox twice. And in that time, the Smiths have racked up $40,000 in health expenses because of Connor's drinking. But what if we could have helped him sooner? In 1990, the Institute of Medicine proposed a model for the delivery of addiction intervention and treatment services called the ESPERT model. That model includes 3 components: screening patients with standardized questions about their substance use, providing brief in-person interventions with counseling, and then referring patients to outside treatment providers as needed. These simple actions have been shown to reduce healthcare costs with a 4x ROI on payer spend and reduce substance use by 39%. To date, however, there's been limited success in scaling these academic models outside of the doctor's office. Enter Suntra Modern Recovery, where we're building the technology platform to address addiction at population scale. Our mission is to work with payers to massively increase the number of people that we engage so that we can intervene earlier in the addiction process. We're leveraging tools that members already have at their fingertips to provide a scalable addiction management solution. For example, we're taking screeners and automating them and making them available via mobile device and IVR. We're deploying personalized AI-generated content and live counselors in real time to intervene as needed. We're leveraging our deep database of addiction treatment information to refer members to solutions that are in-network, that have availability, and are the lowest possible cost. And finally, we're managing members through their recovery journey, through the different levels of care and the different options available at each level. What we're building is a totally novel end-to-end stack that allows us to deliver better clinical outcomes and lower costs for millions of members. And in the last 12 months, we've validated this model, generating $500,000 in revenue. And the great thing is that the payment infrastructure for this already exists with approved CPT codes, so we can start generating revenue from payers right now. And today, we are happy to announce that we recently went live with New York-based Partners Health Plan to provide access to our platform to their members. And we're not stopping there. We are working on credentialing with the biggest payers in the land: United, Elevance, Aetna, and Cigna, each of which represents tens of millions of dollars in potential revenue. And while we're starting with fee-for-service, our platform will allow us to deliver value-based care solutions in the future as the market evolves. And this is a big market. We spent $42 billion on addiction treatment in the last year. There are 40 million people in the United States with a substance use disorder, and most of them are getting no treatment at all. And we know some of those folks personally. In fact, the inspiration for Suntra Modern Recovery comes out of my partner, John Roche's experience, helping his talented sister, Anne-Marie, through her recovery journey. So this is personal to us, and we're the best team to solve this problem. I'm a Columbia-trained physician with an MBA from Wharton and venture-backed startup experience at places like Gerson Lerman Group and Blueprint Health. And my partner, John Roche, is a certified addiction counselor, interventionist, and family therapist. So in closing, addiction impacts many of us, including families like the Smiths. And Suntra Modern Recovery has the right combination of technology and domain expertise to move the needle on this multi-billion-dollar problem. I'm Dr. Jean-Luc Neptune, we're Suntra Modern Recovery, and thanks for your attention today.
Thank you very much, JL. Moving swiftly along. Next, I am very excited to welcome to the stage Sebastian Raghavan. He's the co-founder and CEO of heyMilo.
Hi, I'm Sebastian, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of heyMilo. heyMilo enables companies to scale end-user conversations and turn those conversations into actionable insights using generative AI-powered voice agents. Our first use case enables companies to interview and evaluate thousands of candidates within hours for high-skill and high-volume roles. Now, I'd like you all to meet Patrick. Patrick is the CEO of Coltech Global Staffing, a prominent tech recruiting agency, and one of heyMilo's customers. A few weeks ago, Patrick was tasked with finding a cloud security engineer for one of his largest clients in just a single week. But here's where things got tricky. Patrick had over 500 potential candidates for the role, and only 3 recruiters on staff to help him screen, interview, and evaluate these candidates. Patrick was looking at a 3-week turnaround time. Lucky for Patrick, however, he came across heyMilo while browsing LinkedIn and decided to sign up. And within minutes, was able to configure a voice agent to interview and evaluate all 500 candidates within 24 hours. Let's actually hear from Patrick right now.
heyMilo has been a bit of a game changer for us as a business at Coltech. It's enabled us to interview candidates at scale, which has increased our productivity as a business tenfold. Our consultants can now really analyze the technical data on candidates rather than having to call through hundreds of people at a time.
Now, we've been in market for just 2 months, and we're already seeing some incredible traction. We have over 9 companies actively using heyMilo right now. And that's not all. Over the past month, we've doubled in usage every single week. And we're now in negotiations for multiple 6-figure contracts. What makes heyMilo so magical is how simple it is to use. All you need to do is input your job description. From there, heyMilo is able to intelligently interview candidates. And as candidates respond to questions, heyMilo is able to adapt and ask appropriate follow-up questions. So heyMilo can dig deeper into a candidate's skills or clarify a vague answer. From there, heyMilo synthesizes the conversation and scores a candidate on their fit for the role. helping companies go from weeks of manually interviewing candidates to now just hours. Now, while using heyMilo is simple, building heyMilo was not. Me and my co-founder and CTO, Remy. Remy and I draw upon our past 10 years of experience working in the big data and AI space. I was an early product manager on the recommendation system that currently powers Instagram Reels, where I worked on state-of-the-art AI tech. And Remy was a former tech lead at Salesforce, where he worked on solving this exact same problem, taking unstructured conversational data and turning it into business intelligence that powers companies across the globe. And that's not all. Remy and I are repeat exited co-founders who've known one another for over 12 years. Now, the initial market we're going after is the $6 billion candidate screening market, a market that to this day still remains highly manual, but with heyMilo can finally be transformed. And that's not where heyMilo stops. We're already seeing demand from our customers to use heyMilo for a variety of additional use cases. We're scaling end-user conversations, and turning those conversations into actionable insights is critical, including in conducting user research, qualifying sales leads, and so much more. And with AI agents as a service growing at an unprecedented 45% CAGR over the next 10 years, we're taking advantage of a seismic market shift. And what excites us about heyMilo is that it's a force multiplier for companies. And if you're excited to usher in the future with heyMilo, come speak to us. You can contact us at founders@heymilo.ai. I'm Sebastian, thank you.
Oh, Sebastian from heyMilo. I love it when AI can be used for something very specific, not just a general, vague, God knows what they're doing with AI. Okay, next up, you're gonna love this one. Please welcome Henry, the co-founder and CEO of One Kappa.
Hi, I'm Henry, the CEO of One Kappa. It's the night before Thanksgiving, and you're looking forward to seeing your entire extended family. You're at the airport, checked in your bags, and waiting at the gate for your flight home. You're starting to get worried because your flight is already delayed for 2 hours. And now a Southwest notification pops up on your phone, and it says your flight is canceled. You're devastated and angry at Southwest. But Southwest is upset too. They just lost a lot of money. We all heard about the Southwest Airlines meltdown last year, but turns out that event alone cost them over $1 billion. I'd like to introduce you to Jake. Jake is a senior director at Southwest Airlines Control Center, and Jake, he's the reason why your flight was canceled. Jake manages a team of over 500 flight dispatchers, and do you know what they're using to manage your flight? It's this mess. Each dispatcher is switching between 6 monitors and over 10 different applications. The problem they have is its information overload. And since weather is dynamic, the information is constantly changing. It's no wonder why these billion-dollar meltdowns keep happening and every other flight gets delayed. They're too busy gathering all the information rather than making a decision for what it means for your flight. The clock is ticking, so what do? They make a decision with incomplete information. And that's just baseline. In reality, pop-up severe weather events happen all the time, which means they're always scrambling to recover. I saw this firsthand when I showed up to tour these control centers at major airlines and experienced what they call operational headaches. Look, you, me, and every other passenger here are pissed off, but what you don't know is this leads to $8 billion of fuel wasted per year and a climate impact of 7.8 million tons of CO2 emissions. Every airline has a Jake, and they struggle because they're not given the tools they need to make safe, sustainable, and cost-effective decisions. And that's why we started One Kappa, a weather insights platform. Let me show you how it works. We do all the hard work and integrate into existing systems, aggregate all the data, cluster the information through machine learning models, and through our AI, generate insights through one single screen. We're already live on our platform, processing over 45,000 daily flights from over 10 data sources with over 100 flight attributes on each flight. And with this, we can deliver insights such as fuel loading, alternate airports, route optimization, and contrail avoidance. And with these insights, Jake can make a timely decision on your flight, leading to more on-time departures. And for the airlines, they can achieve their safety, sustainability, and cost-saving goals. We license our software through a flat annual fee, plus a tiered fee based on the volume of dispatchers. And today, I'm thrilled to announce we're in advanced discussions with a major airline to pilot our solution. We're already, thank you. We have an active pipeline of over 15 enterprise customers with room to grow domestically. And around the world, there are over 5,000 global airlines, and each one can be a one Kappa customer. We're the right team to do this. I have a 10-year career as an aerospace engineer, building drones at NASA, satellites at Northrop Grumman, and I was instrumental in winning a $1 billion contract for NASA. I'm joined by Michael and Kian, where we work together at Northrop Grumman to build software applications on large-scale programs. And in the future, we have the ability to make our software even better by capturing real-time weather data through solar-powered drones in the stratosphere. High-resolution data, such as temperature, pressure, and relative humidity, which will deliver these insights even faster and more efficiently. Because part of the challenge, too, is that they're using unreliable weather data to feed into their models. And to make things worse, climate change is causing unpredictable weather patterns, making past data assumptions obsolete. And although we're starting with aviation, we're not stopping there. We're going to expand to agriculture, energy, insurance, construction, and many other billion-dollar markets. We're taking off on a rocket ship. We want you to come along for the ride. Thank you, everyone. Once again, I'm Henry Kwan, and this is One Kappa.
Awesome. Thank you, Henry. That was One Kappa. Next up, I'm thrilled to introduce to you the founder and CEO of rippl Rewards, Sarah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm the CEO and founder of rippl Rewards. But today, let me introduce you to Nessa. Nessa is one of the 2 billion Gen Zers that represents the future of consumer spending, with $360 billion in disposable income. Appealing to her generation is top of mind for brands, but they are getting it all wrong. In order to win Nessa over, you need to align with her values and advocate for social issues she cares about, like climate change. Companies currently spend $75 billion a year on transactional loyalty programs that fail to cultivate a relationship with their customers like Nessa. These unread emails are the extent of her engagement with these loyalty platforms. They're transactional and personal and misaligned with brand values. The space hasn't seen innovation in years. You know it's bad when the most exciting way to earn is liking a company on Facebook. Brands lack the engagement tools they need to give Nessa the next-gen experience she wants and deserves. And that's why we built rippl Rewards, a next-generation, mission-aligned engagement tool that will forever redefine the loyalty category. We enable companies to authentically engage throughout the entire customer life cycle. We fundamentally believe that lasting loyalty is built by creating an emotional connection to your customers. In fact, it's proven that by doing so, you see a 3x increase in overall customer lifetime value. So, how do we know this is something that brands want? There's so much demand for this. In less than 4 weeks, we already have over 100 brands on our wait list. Top consumer brands like Blueland have told us this is exactly what they're looking for. In fact, this past July, Blueland hosted a plastic-free July challenge where they rewarded customers for participating manually. They saw so much engagement, they had to have an entire team manage the inbox to keep up. With rippl Rewards, this entire challenge could have been fully automated, turned on with a click of a button. Their customers will submit images of their plastic swaps, and our image recognition will verify the swaps and then quantify the total environmental impact made by the community. Our proprietary technology uses AI image recognition, geolocation, and link tracking to verify actions taken by customers. our go-to-market is focused on a beachhead of sustainable D2C brands because their brand teams are particularly desperate to find a loyalty solution that isn't solely based on transactions. They also get the added benefit that they can reduce downstream Scope 3 emissions by rewarding customers for proper disposal of their products, like upcycling. But let me be clear, this isn't just for sustainable brands. Imagine if Hoka could reward you for running, or Cliff Bar could reward you for going on a hike. Buying a product is probably the least exciting part of the customer journey. It's about your experience with the brand post-purchase. We help companies tap into that. With rippl Rewards, companies can choose from a menu of hundreds of vetted climate actions, or they can create their own custom actions and embed them right onto their website. We charge a SaaS fee for our standard tier at $2,500, up to $100,000 for a premium tier, which allows access to additional features and the ability to host customized challenges and actions. For the 100+ companies on our waitlist, this represents $1.2 million in ARR when converted. And for our initial target market of sustainable brands on Shopify, this is a $7 billion opportunity before even moving up market. We understand the generation we're helping brands go after because we're a part of it. We have experience in marketing, sustainability, and rewards, and we're joined by top advisors like the CEO and founder of Fetch Rewards and the CEO of 7th Generation. So, if you want to help us disrupt this incredibly outdated $75 billion industry, I'd love to connect. My name is Sarah, and this was rippl Rewards.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And we're going to continue right on here. Next up, I am very excited to welcome to the stage David Neihart. He's the co-founder and CEO of Encap Health.
I'm going to tell you all a story about how I turned my life-threatening illness into something that can benefit everyone in this room. When I was a senior product manager at Amazon's healthcare group, designing new, customer-centric healthcare solutions, I got really sick, and it was scary. I was in and out of hospitals, specialists, Mayo Clinic, and over again, I had the same problem of just not getting enough information from my doctors, either because they didn't know, because they didn't have time, or just because I forgot what they told me. Existing solutions are absolutely garbage. An ugly 10-page printout, a broken portal, me at 1 a.m. Googling on the internet. And it turns out I wasn't alone. 70% of patients leave a visit confused, dissatisfied, forget what is discussed, and it can have serious implications for their health. That's why I started Encap Health. Now, imagine we are all lucky enough to be patients of Dr. Nicholas Kronos, the doctor who put my health back together and my co-founder and chief medical officer. I go into his office for a visit, and he diagnoses me with sleep apnea. He only has a few minutes to share with me some information, and then he's on to his next patient. But what now? I walk out, and I just forgot 70% of what we spoke about. Fortunately, I pull out my phone, and directly in my inbox, I have an email that says Dr. Kronos's sleep apnea, FAQs, and tips. It answers all of the questions I could have had about my condition and goes into even more detail on things that I didn't know to ask. Things like diet, lifestyle, over-the-counter tips, surgery options in the future if it gets to that. This is the exact product that I needed when I was sick. And I'm so happy to say that this isn't just a hypothetical. We are live, and we are currently reaching 2,000 patients a month. And patients are loving it, with over a 90% patient satisfaction score. And you may be saying to yourself, this sounds great for patients. I want this product. Why hasn't this already been done before? And it's because healthcare is hard. There are complex, competing interests across stakeholders. Encap works because we align those competing interests. For patients, we're improving their health with a delightful user experience. For providers, zero friction or changes to their existing clinical workflow. For healthcare organizations, we're driving them revenue, and for payers, we're reducing cost. How do we do all that? Well, we've seen what a delightful customer and patient experience it is, but what about the others? Well, it turns out 92% of patients don't get their recommended preventative screenings. Screenings that are often covered by insurance and could save the patient's life. Encap's proactive preventative screening algorithm targets patients and sends them information about their eligible preventative screenings and makes it easy for them to sign up. This drives traffic and revenue back to the healthcare organizations that we're selling to. In just the last 2 weeks, we had 40 new preventative care screening signups for just one of our customer. And there are dozens of these that we're building into our platform. This makes our conversation to doctors and healthcare organizations easy. Let us help your patients, and we will make you more money. And it's working. We currently have 8 paying providers on our platform, and we have free trials with a telehealth platform, a value-based care network, and more. I built Encap because it was the product that I needed when I was sick, when I was scared. And we're working hard to be your trusted healthcare companion before, immediately after, and between all of your healthcare visits. I'm David, and we're Encap Health.
All right, thank you, David from Encap. We're coming into the home stretch here, but before we do, I just want to say, the CEOs you're seeing up here, they get the bright lights, they get the applause, but behind them are their co-founders who are building the products that make these amazing companies possible. So I'd love all of the co-founders to raise your hands, and let's give an extra big round of applause for them. Come on, guys. I see you. They're awesome. Okay, and now, please welcome to the stage the founder and CEO of DirtSat. It's Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine, founder and CEO of DirtSat. As a property owner, there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and regulation. Shreya is a commercial property manager for CBRE here in the city, and her quest to reduce her carbon footprint to meet net zero goals is no longer a question of should we. It's a question of how fast can we. And she's driven by local law 92, 94, and especially 97 here in New York. But there are over 40 cities across the US who are enacting similar legislation, and that's just the beginning. The climate fight is going to be won or lost in our cities, and that's because 70% of our carbon footprint in New York, Chicago, LA, London to Tokyo comes from our buildings. But there is a massive overlooked opportunity that's been hiding in plain sight. And it has the ability to add 14.5 central parks to the New York City skyline. The solution? Bio-solar rooftops, a combination of vegetated green roof and solar panels. And the buildings that convert to biosolar can see a 30% emissions reduction. Now, these are challenges that I've been solving for in an over 20-year career, building and designing for the commercial real estate market, selling to that same market, and monitoring the urban ecosystem. DirtSat's technology can turn a latent rooftop asset into all-weather ROI. So the days of an empty, idling rooftop are over. And backed by billions in stimulus from federal, state, and city, like the IRA, for green infrastructure and clean energy, thousands of companies are pledging to decarbonize their assets. And it's why the biosolar marketplace is projected to triple over the next 5 years. And it's why I started DirtSat. We take a 3-stage approach to provide a total solution. Stage 1, we use satellite data and AI to identify assets. Stage 2, our biosolar marketplace streamlines development. And stage 3, we continue to measure and quantify impacts on our analytics platform. And Shreya, the commercial property manager, like the 31,000 other offices across New York City, has obligations, both to tenants and to owners. And she needs to move quickly with regulations and impending fines coming up fast. But she needs to be certain that large CapEx projects will increase her net operating income and operational efficiencies. And she needs to know where to start. And DirtSat has solved for all of these challenges. Let me show you how. We autonomously identify and rank any rooftop anywhere for biosolar viability. So project managers know quickly which assets are suitable. We work with a vetted network of expert installers who are highly motivated by the IRA to move forward on shovel-ready projects. So every development is streamlined and managed efficiently. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we're in late-stage discussions with a leading national solar developer to partner with them and access their national network of installers. Finally, we continue to measure and monitor impacts on our analytics platform. We track emissions reduction, power generation, and cost savings that can integrate into reporting systems so PMs can quickly ingest and track how building emissions is affecting the bottom line and regulatory targets. And we make money in 2 ways. As a monthly SaaS fee based on the number of assets under management, as well as a take rate for any project developed through our biosolar marketplace. And in 3 short months, we've evaluated over 1 million buildings in New York City and identified nearly 500 million square feet of viable rooftop, which, if converted, would be $27.5 billion in net operating income increase. As well, 475,000 metric tons of CO2 removed, which is equal to taking 100,000 cars off the road annually. Now, you may think that biosolar is a niche solution, but less than 20 blocks from here is one of the largest biosolar applications on one of the most visited buildings in New York City, the Javits Center. We're accelerating the biosolar revolution. I'm Christine. This is DirtSat.
Okay, thank you, Christine. That was Christine and DirtSat. Next up, I'm thrilled to introduce to you the co-founder and CEO of BenchAI, Anish.
Hi, I'm Anish, CEO of BenchAI, and today I want to introduce you to John. He's the VP of Engineering of a 100-person venture-backed company that focuses on building software for lawyers. And recently, John's CEO called him and told him they've landed their biggest client. But the problem is they need to scan millions of documents in just a few weeks. John knows his current software won't be able to do this. And the only way he can achieve this deadline is by using generative AI like large language models. But John's team is not fit to build a solution like this. If he had worked at a much larger company, he'd have a huge team to help him build out the application that has the knowledge of AI and a large budget to do so. But it's not just John's team that suffers to integrate AI into their products. There are over 2 million companies that share the same problem as John, and they're all at risk of losing their clients to their competitors. And that's why we built BenchAI, a platform that simplifies AI integrations by making AI accessible, efficient, and scalable. Like Shopify did for e-commerce, BenchAI simplifies AI integrations. And that's why I'm proud to announce that in just 5 weeks, we've hit 2 important milestones. We've just crossed signing 10 LOIs and 2 design partners. So let's take a look at how our customers would use our application. The integration of data is as seamless as possible. Users can just drag and drop their data sources, and we will fine-tune the generative AI model that is required to fit their needs. Now they can deploy it to their customers using a single unified API, meaning they get access to a wide range of models with just one change. And as this application is being used, we'll monitor their data sources and keep their models up to date. As new usage comes in, we'll refine and retrain these models to make them smarter. This is 4 times faster than the traditional approach. And now John's team can just spend a few days integrating AI into their application and now meet the deadline. So how do we know this? My co-founders and I have actually worked with engineering managers like John for many years. And we actually all met on the first day of college in computer science class and have always built platforms like this. My co-founders and I later moved on to build AI-driven applications at companies like Amazon, VMware, and Valio. We charge our customers in 2 ways, annual SaaS fee and a metered API fee. We're first starting off by solving these challenges with our 2 pilots and making sure we can get it at a production level. Then we'll go after the 2 million companies that share the same problems as John Company and make sure they can solve it as well. Then we're going after the 16 million companies in the United States that already have existing AI workflows and help them optimize with the challenges that they have. We're first starting off by solving challenges with large language models and then moving on to a wider range of AI applications like image generation and object detection. If you're excited about how generative AI will shape the future of technology, I'd love to speak with you. My name is Anish, and this is BenchAI.
Thank you to Anish. And moving swiftly along again, next up, I'm very excited to announce Soham Shah to the stage, co-founder and CEO of Architect Health.
Hi, my name is Soham, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Architect Health. Architect Health improves profitability and health outcomes for health plans through telehealth navigation. Think of it as the front door for digital health. Meet Sid. He's health insurance's worst nightmare. Sid is a 26-year-old former collegiate soccer player, plagued with back pain, arthritis, and chronic migraines, leading to over $200,000 in claims filed every year. That is health insurance has to pay for. But it didn't have to be this way. Telehealth apps have been proven to manage chronic conditions and prevent health problems like SIDS from snowballing, which is why health plans have spent billions on telehealth apps. But with thousands to choose from, health plans can't get the right solutions in front of the right patients at the right time. And given that 90% of health insurance costs are from patients with chronic conditions, health plans are in a crisis. How do we know this? Well, Sid isn't just a case study. He's actually my co-founder, and I've watched him on this journey for nearly a decade. We've both worked at the intersection of digital health and care management at major health plans, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Humana. So, how can these health plans solve this? Well, Architect Health helps health insurance companies proactively match their members to personalized telehealth apps. Plans no longer need to spend billions on telehealth apps without seeing real usage and real health outcomes. Instead, we access member claims data, identify their health need, and proactively recommend them the perfect telehealth app in-network to manage their chronic condition. Easy, right? Well, that's how healthcare should be. In fact, as of today, our product is live and ready to be deployed to payer partners. And for health insurance companies, this is a game changer. Our member-facing platform powers a continuous surge of data on customer preferences, member engagement, and utilization that we share directly back to the health plan for a volume-based SaaS fee. Now, health plans can understand exactly which telehealth benefits are duplicative and where there are gaps in care. So, will health plans finally see an ROI? Yes. Our payer-facing platform can save health plans over $27 billion by replacing expensive care journeys with affordable telehealth and identifying duplicative telehealth benefits. And this is just the start. For the over 100 million Americans with multiple chronic conditions, our single sign-on platform allows them to access all their telehealth benefits in one place. We're not the only ones who are excited. We've surveyed 1,000 patients, have a wait list of 300 end users, have received validation from 50 health plan decision makers. We've brought on the former CEO of Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina as an advisor, and we're now finalizing partnerships with 2 health plans totaling over 32 million members. 32 million. So, if you're an investor looking to transform digital health and reduce healthcare costs, let's work together. We're Architect Health, and we're architecting the future of digital health.
Wow. I almost want to tear up my knee just so I can take advantage of that. All right, next up, I am thrilled to introduce the co-founder and CEO of Esger, Advait.
Hi, I am Advait, the co-founder and CEO of Esger, and we are unlocking transparency in supply chains for a sustainable future. Let me tell you the story of this $400 million solar park in Wisconsin. It was supposed to be completed early this year, but as you can see, not a single solar panel has been installed so far. In fact, this project has been at a complete standstill for the past 9 months because the solar panels for this project have been seized at the border by customs. Why? The manufacturer could not prove that their supply chain was free of forced labor. For the manufacturer, this led to a series of painful consequences, millions of dollars in cash flow issues. The project plan completely derailed, and worst of all their future contracts are now at risk. What went wrong? You see, they did not have a paper trail for the solar panel's journey from raw material to the finished product. They did not have supply chain transparency. And this is not just about solar. Apparel, electronics, automotives, all of these industries are struggling to document their social and environmental impact in supply chains. It's because of all these regulations, which are just the tip of the iceberg. In fact, in the next 2 years, most major enterprises will have highly regulated supply chains. No wonder this is a $34 billion industry growing at 15% per year. We are tackling this problem with our AI-powered supply chain transparency platform. You see, supply chains are incredibly complex. IBM, for instance, has 30,000 suppliers, and they have to ensure all of them are compliant with their code of conduct. The danger can lie anywhere, and that's why someone at IBM has to reach out to these suppliers, because supply chain transparency is essentially about engaging with your suppliers, collecting social and environmental data. No one has been able to automate this so far, until now. With Esger, companies can vet tens of thousands of suppliers with no human intervention. Procurement teams do not have to sift through hundreds of documents that lead into months of email communication. I'll show you how it works. Our platform first ingests all the supplier information, structured, unstructured, and since our AI engine is trained on up-to-date regulations and all the ESG frameworks, it identifies the data gaps that exist. After that, we're off to the races. Our platform sends out thousands of tailored emails in all languages, educating the suppliers, collecting their data, verifying it, and ensuring all the data gaps are filled. So whether you have 20 suppliers or 20,000 suppliers, Esger ensures complete supply chain transparency. And all of this is only possible because of our advanced large language models, which is a technology me and my co-founders understand deeply. We met at Cornell, building at the intersection of sustainability and AI. And for our work, we won the $100,000 Startup Award to start Esger. Our team consists of a 2-time founder, an AI engineering lead, and an ESG analyst with 6 years of experience. And together with our advisor, who has decades of experience in this exact space, we're tackling one of the world's hardest problems: responsible supply chains. We are starting with our AI-powered supplier engagement platform. And as more suppliers are using our platform, we become the system of record for supplier ESG data. Our long-term vision is to be the end-to-end operating system for sustainable supply chains. And I'm glad to announce, as of this week, after launching our MVP 2 weeks ago, we have already got the go-ahead for 2 pilots. Our world deserves responsible supply chains, and we are making this happen. If you want to learn more, come talk to me. I'm Advait, this is Esger.
All right, thank you, Advait. So, we are at our last presenter. Before we wrap up, I'm just really moved seeing how many people are here. You have come from all over Manhattan, and all over the country, and all over the world. And if you're visiting New York, you probably checked out the hotel prices, and they are disgusting. So you'll probably want to pay extra special attention to our next presenter. It is Bo, the co-founder and CEO of Kommu.
Hi, I'm Bo Abrams, co-founder and CEO of Kommu, and we are a platform for home sharing within your trusted circle. Do you remember when Airbnb was about listing your spare bedroom to make a little bit of extra cash? Well, now the short-term vacation rental market has fully professionalized. In fact, most Airbnbs in major cities, they're more expensive than hotels. And most hosts, they're not even really people. They're professional management companies. Meanwhile, demand for affordable lodging is at an all-time high. Airbnb has 400 million users and only 4 million hosts. So why isn't everyone listing on the platform and making a bunch of money right now? 2 reasons. Click. First, stranger danger. It turns out that most of us don't want strangers in our primary homes. And secondly, most of Airbnb's users, they're millennials and they're Gen Zers. They're renters, and they can't list on the platform. It's a classic market mismatch. So what are they doing? They're turning to platforms like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook groups, and even Craigslist to try to find somebody to stay in their homes while they're away. The demand is there. It's just gone underground. There's no place for them to centralize, productize, and monetize their homes. Enter kommu. Kommu is a platform that empowers anyone to share their homes with their trusted networks, be it direct connections, friends of friends, or interest groups. Our users would never open their homes to strangers, and with kommu, they don't have to. They list their homes to their trusted networks at a transparent price. No stranger danger, all the financial benefits. So let's see how this works. Meet Chloe. Chloe decides that she's going to leave her place in LA for a couple of weeks in October and decides to list on kommu. She updates her dates and lists to her friends, friends of friends, and her NYU alumni network. She gets some inbound requests and ends up going with Riley, a fellow NYU graduate, and accepts the booking, not some rando from Craigslist. Chloe's able to pocket $1,500 of cash that she otherwise wouldn't have, and of course, it's a fantastic deal for Riley as well. That sounds awesome, right? But marketplaces, they're hard. You got the cold start problem, the chicken and the egg. Well, we've cracked that egg by going top down and onboarding major private groups like Women in Travel and top business schools. This provides social proofing and seeds virality. And that's not hypothetical. In just a few short months, we've driven over 1,000 nights booked on the platform. And that has created $180,000 of value for our hosts and guests when they book on kommu as compared to alternative lodging platforms. We are a freemium business model, so you are free to use kommu with your direct connections, but the real value comes when you want to expand your network to friends of friends or to groups, which is a $199 annual subscription, which you earn back for just one night booked on the platform. Oh, and those regulations that are cracking down on short-term rental platforms like Airbnb, those work in our favor because we're designed to comply with them. Our revenue comes from subscriptions, not transaction fees. In those cities like New York, where regulations are the strictest, that's where we're growing the fastest, and we're not gonna stop there. So what's the big picture? We're bringing online over 140 million homes that could never and would never be touched by platforms like Airbnb because these are trusted networks, and we're giving them the same financial benefits. I met my co-founder, Gus, in business school. I have a background in venture capital, startup operations, and community building, and Gus is a full-stack engineer and product manager from Stanford. And we are backed by the founders and executives of some of the greatest hospitality and social platforms to ever exist, including Airbnb, Tinder, and Couchsurfing.com. So, if you want to build your own private home sharing network, then you can go ahead and download kommu today. And if you're an investor and you're interested in being a part of the next generation of hospitality, then you can come see me right after this presentation. My name is Bo Abrams, and this is kommu. Thank you.
Let's give one more round of applause for our amazing founders.
Thank you all so much for coming, and I know that you're dying to talk to our founders now, but before we do that, we wanted to say that our applications are open for our winter 2024 cohort. So if you know any amazing founder or exciting startup, please send them our way to the ERA team. We'd love to talk to them. The program will run from January 2024 through April, and the deadline to apply is November 6th. So thank you again for coming, and we're so excited to talk to our companies.
If you saw any companies here today that you want to follow up with, you can book an appointment with them at eranyc.com/demo day. Now, will you please join us back in the East lobby for some networking and to talk to all of our founders? Thanks so much for coming.